appetite control is a major problem for those that are trying to lose weight. And it usually is the definitive factor whether or not your cut will fail or succeed. Because after all, if you're constantly binge eating or you're unable to enter a calorie deficit because you're so hungry, well, you're never going to get any results. So for those that are cutting, for those that are trying to lose a little bit of weight, allow me to give you some real solutions to this real problem. The first thing I'd like to bring to your attention is that following a diet that is full of low-filling foods is not going to work. It won't work because you're going to binge eat and you're going to be starving all day. You, my friend, need to eliminate all the stuff that doesn't keep you full. Period. If you have food that is very calorie dense, it tastes good, but it's not filling, you're screwed because it's going to feel as if you never ate at all. And usually this is going to be your snacks, your white breads, your white pastas, like anything that's white for the most part. That's going to cause you some problems because you'll be able to eat so much of it. You see, when people say that carbs make you fat, which is not true, the reason is that they eat a lot of it. For example, if you have a lot of pasta in one sitting, you can easily get 1,700 calories in one sitting. Easy. And you put the sauce on top of that, it's a joke. So it's not that carbs make you fat, it's that the appetite control is not there. A better solution is to eat high fiber foods. High fiber, lots of fruits and vegetables in particular, and of course high protein, because protein has a greater thermic effect, which means that your appetite will be much better. So the secret to making this cut successful is to stop eating foods that are just not filling. That's going to be all your junk food, which is really, really, really not filling. You can have an extreme amount of it. It does nothing. And of course, the stuff that's just dense, but without substance. The other day, for instance, I bought this naan bread, right, just to try it out. And bro, I had 2 pieces, right? 600 calories. 600 calories from that, plus a garlic sauce, which makes it like 700. And it wasn't even filling. It felt like I had a little snack of nothing. On the other hand, if you make me a fruit salad, if you give me like 4 oranges, bro, a little bit of strawberries, a little bit of blueberries, I'm full for like hours because it's filling. That's what you have to do. Bring filling foods into your life. Stop eating crap and stop buying it. Stop bringing it to the house. I don't want to hear, oh, cheat day. Fuck cheat days, man. Forget about it. Because every time you indulge in these little things, it sets that neural pathway up. And next thing you know, you're having a little bit more here and there. Why don't you go hard for a second? Go hard, man, for this cut. At least right now until you get your appetite under control, okay? That's my first piece of advice. Secondly, a good option that you can incorporate is intermittent fasting or any type of fast. It doesn't have to be specific time windows, but I do feel that a lot of people, when they have their first meal, it sets the motion for the rest of the day. Usually, your breakfast means that you're going to be having 2 or 3 other meals. I say delay that process. At least skip your breakfast, preferably your lunch as well, and only eat after about 5 p.m. And if you do this, you'll find that it's very difficult to obtain all your calories in one sitting, especially if they're filling foods. That's what I'm trying to say. If you're eating filling foods and you're not having many meals throughout the day, you're not going to be able to hit an extreme amount of calories. In fact, even people are trying to bulk. If you bring a person to the buffet and it's his only meal, even at that, an extreme scenario, it can be difficult to obtain your daily amount of calories needed to gain weight. So the same thing applies here. Fast throughout the day if appetite control is a problem. And to suppress your appetite while you're fasting, you drink a lot of water and you consume a lot of black coffee, okay? This is all going to help you. And over time, you'll get used to it. Eventually, you're not going to want breakfast anymore. It'll be all good. Like I said, the moment you have that first meal, guys, it sets the motion for the rest of the day. Now you're hungry. So I say delay that process a little bit. It's going to be much more feasible in controlling your appetite because now you can eat more at the end of the day, but you're getting less calories. Okay, this is a huge one. Thirdly, recognize that as you go deeper into the cut, your calorie deficit will become greater. Well, not necessarily the percentage itself, but your total calorie intake. So if you start off at 3,000, well, maybe the end of your cut, you're consuming like 2,100. And of course, that can cause serious effects on your appetite because now you're starving. You're drained of those 900 extra calories. You're like, damn, I'm so hungry. So what do you do in that situation? Well, you're going to have to outwork this diet. Because chances are, even with all the tips I suggested, you're still going to be hungry. Especially if you're a guy who considers himself to be an endomorph, which I don't really believe in that term per se. I do agree that there are different bone structures and stuff, but the term endomorph, I don't really like that label. But let's say you are of that particular body type and you have a large appetite or whatever, this is going to destroy you. And this is where, again, people tend to fail their cut at the later stages. They can't get that last bit of leanness because they're so hungry. What you do in that case is you got to outwork the diet. That means more cardio. And that's why cardio is so beneficial for cutting. It allows you to re-eat what you lost. If you can do something like a 30-minute boxing round workout, you're going to easily burn about 500 calories. And that's an extra meal. So my advice is cardio. The hungrier you are, the more cardio you got to do. Plain and simple. And for most of you, I say 30-minute boxing rounds every 48 hours should be more than enough to allow you to eat more food. Okay, because it does add up here. So cardio is very beneficial, and it doesn't have to be boxing. I'm just saying that's a general recommendation. It could be low intensity cardio, it could be another high intensity activity, whatever you like. But cardio will allow you to eat more food, and the best way to do it is while you're fasting. Not because it's going to burn more fat. That's a myth. It's because you're going to be very hungry after doing it, and you might as well have your first meal after the cardio. You know what I'm saying? This way, you're not going to binge. For example, let's say your first meal was at 5 p.m. and then you did cardio at 7 p.m. Well, now you're going to be starving again. So it's better if you're starving one time throughout the day than twice, because that leaves less room for opportunity, less room for binge eating. So that's a very, very good tip right there. Just do more cardiovascular activity. The hungrier you are, the more cardio you got to do. And I know some guys are like, damn, man, but doing cardio just makes me more hungry. Again, the point is you're trying to allow more food into your system without disrupting the calorie deficit. That's all I'm trying to say here, okay? Some guys might disagree with me on this one, but honestly, I believe that if you're doing cardio, you'll be able to eat more food, and that can make the difference. That can make the difference for someone who's really struggling with this. And then my final piece of advice, guys, is to just get a little bit of willpower. Honestly, just grab your fucking nuts, man, and quit whining. Quit whining, oh, I'm so hungry. Just shut the fuck up, man. Seriously, drink your goddamn water, have your protein, do your cardio, do your fasting, and shut the fuck up, all right? At some point, we got to stop making excuses for ourselves, and we just got to accept things for what it is. You're still hungry? Too bad. You set up a goal for yourself? That's what it is. Get lean. Quit making excuses for yourself. You want to drop 20 pounds and all these tips are still not helping? I don't fucking care. Go ahead and do it anyway. At some point in your life, man, you're going to have to grab your nuts and do something. You can't just be complaining about these things. Do the best of what you're capable of. Maximize all these techniques. But after that, willpower, discipline, man up for a little bit. And then when you start eating at maintenance calories, it's going to be all fine. But right now, you have a goal, right? You're trying to get lean. You're trying to lose weight. Okay. Do what you got to do. Maximize the techniques. And then it's all willpower from there. Stop with these goddamn cheat days. Stop buying junk food in the house. Do everything right. Stop making excuses. You can get it done if your mind is strong enough to let it happen. So that's honestly my best piece of advice. I saved it for last, but it's the truth. You need to have willpower. And willpower can overcome your appetite. If it's freaking midnight and you're hungry and you want a meal, too bad. Drink a bit of water until your stomach is full, go to bed. Too bad. You have an objective. And you can't just let all your emotions get in the way. No, let's be logical, okay? Let's look at logic over emotions every single time. Don't just turn to your stomach because you're hungry. You go over to a friend's house, he's like, hey, look at all this cake that I made. Don't have it. Don't have it. You're trying to lose weight? Oh, too bad. Too bad. You're gonna look at that guy eat his cake as he salivates and consumes all of it. And you're gonna be like, oh man, you're gonna wash that motherfucker. And you're not gonna eat it because you have an objective. So that's all there is to it. Appetite control. Real solutions to real problems.